Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is 11 a.m. 17th of October 2023, and today is Fake News Day. What on earth happened yesterday? We're going to take a look at the markets, then something which I didn't expect, which was why I was napping when it happened. Bitcoin ranked all the way up to $30,000 and then all the way back down again. Ethereum, what happened there? We're going to have a little look at the TA that we did on Friday and kind of explain how it played out, which was perfectly, by the way. So we're going to have a quick look at Ethereum. Then we're going to look at what money is coming into crypto, where is it coming from, and how does it compare to previous months. We're going to look at a Cathie Wood interview, which I watched yesterday evening, to do with the SEC, to do with Bitcoin ETFs, to do with the entire thing. And she did not make any bones about what she said. So we're going to go through that. Then we're going to have a look at Uniswap taxing the transactions on certain tokens. I'm going to look at that. Then we're going to look at more taxation. And then, as if that wasn't taxing enough, we're going to have the quiz at the end, which is in about 45 minutes time. Excuse me, I am tired as anything today. So what I need you to do is drop comments into chat. Let me know where you are watching from. Good morning to Johar09. Thank you for asking for a red packet. I have no idea what that is, but thank you anyway. We do stream live every day, 11:30 normally. We streamed yesterday. We're going to be streaming again tomorrow. Loom Network is down 23%, which I think I called. So we'll have a look at that anyway. So drop me a message. Let me know where you are dialing in from. It's been very quiet the last few weeks. Tariq, good morning. Welcome to the stream. It's so deathly quiet this week. It really, really is quiet. I have no idea where everybody is gone. I think crypto has finally scared off the last few people. So I'm going to take a look at Loom, because I did tell people to not buy into Loom at the price it was at during the last time we covered it. So we're going to have a quick look at that because I've just seen that now. So let's start with the markets. Market dominance hasn't changed too much, just under 1.1 trillion. Volume is up massively, as you would expect from what happened in the last not even 24 hours. I would say the last 15 hours, last 16 hours. Volume's up nearly 59 billion. That's up 250%. Bitcoin dominance, as you can see, has surged over 50%. Ethereum dominance is down 17.5%. Why does that matter? Because Bitcoin is the biggest dog in the park. It's over 50% of the total crypto market. It's important to keep your eye on that, because when that ramps up, Bitcoin goes on a bit of a tear and altcoins suffer. Everything suffers against Bitcoin when Bitcoin goes on a tear. So if we look at the 24-hour gainers and losers, Solana has had a great 24 hours, nearly up at $25. Bitcoin SV, which I personally don't like, is there. ApeCoin has had a small recovery. Stacks. And of course, it's very rare to see, but in 5th position, we have Bitcoin. It's not normally the case you see Bitcoin in the top 5 gainers of the day. It's just so big. It's, $555 billion. It's a big, big old beast to move. We look at losers. Loom Network. Now, as I said, I covered this last week, maybe Friday or Saturday. And I said you should probably wait for a correction if you want to get into Loom. And it looks like we're about to go through that. So I'm going to take another look at that. Maybe after I've looked at Bitcoin and Ethereum, we'll go and take a quick look at Loom. Trust Wallet is down nearly 10%. Thorchain had a really good run, and it appears to have lost all momentum and all of its price action. Sui is down 10%. Maker, Brax, not else really much to talk about. 2% here or there is nothing really to write home about. So that's where the markets are. We've had a very exciting period of time. So we're going to go on and have a look at that. And we're going to get an angle on this. Hopefully shed some light on what happened. That is not the right article. This is the right article. Here we go. So for those of you that are unaware, yesterday afternoon, Central European time, about 3 o'clock, Cointelegraph leaked a bit of breaking news saying that an iShares Bitcoin ETF had been approved. It hadn't been approved. It was fake news. It was spread on Telegram groups by various individuals, and we saw a massive spike, which I'm going to go over when I look at the charts. So rather than just go over that news, which you've probably already seen, I'm going to take a look at somebody who was interviewed about it, and that is, I believe he's called Larry Fink, who is the BlackRock CEO, and he calls the rally a flight to quality, not rumours. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, said in an interview that the crypto rally represents a flight to quality driven by real economic factors, not false speculation. I actually don't believe him. Simply because we retraced pretty much all the way back to where we were. So unless he's talking about the rally since January, fair enough. But this rally was beyond a rumour. The rally today is about a flight to quality with all those issues around the war. Fink said more people are running to flight to quality, whether that's on treasuries, gold or crypto. He likes this term, doesn't he? Flight to quality. He said it about 5 times in this article so far. The comments came after Bitcoin rallied earlier today based on false rumours that the SEC had approved a Bitcoin spot ETF. The gains were short-lived, with crypto prices soon reversing when the rumours turned out to be false. Fink drew parallels between cryptocurrencies and traditional havens such as treasuries and gold. He's also expressed bullish views on asset tokenization. We spoke about this a couple of times in the last few weeks. We talk about UPS and we talked about JP Morgan, and what they are trying to do is tokenize the fund market, which allows for instant transfer of funds, and of course it's immutable. It's on the blockchain, which means that every transaction can be audited in real time. There is no need to go through very expensive third-party audits every 3 months or every 2 months, however long they have to do it. So all in all, that is good news. There is no streaming data. Please check the streaming tool. You restart the app. And let's get cracking. So let's have a look at the chart. Now, I did cover Bitcoin yesterday. And Web3 was in chat. He's always bullish. He's always bullish, Web3. And we were talking about where are we going to go to? And what will happen if we do have a breakout? What will happen if an ETF application is approved? So you'll know if you have watched me for a while. Let me zoom out. There we go. So you'll know if you've watched me for a while that I have been talking about this bull market support band that we broke down under. We retested, we got stuck inside, we came down again. And my prediction was that we were going to retest and come back down to this level here, 25.8. That was my prediction yesterday at around about this time. Now what happened was the news broke. We had this huge wick up to 30,150 roughly, which coincidentally is the same area as this area of resistance here. So we wicked up to this price, which is a good price to wick up to be perfectly honest, because it shows it was like a trial run of when the Bitcoin ETFs are going to be approved. It was a trial run. It ran for about half an hour to an hour. All the shorts were liquidated. I think it was $90 million in shorts were liquidated. Now, what's interesting is not where we are now. That's not an interesting price. What is interesting is that we've gone above the bull market support band, and look at that right there. We have retested the bull market support band and we have stayed above it. So we've come down, we've come up, we've retested. Now, what happens when you retest the bull market support band? Well, let's look at the last two instances where we retested it. We came down, we retested the bull market support band, and we went up. We came down, retested the bull market support band, we went up. Now, I am not saying we are going to do the same thing, because this is based on a fake bit of news. There's a good chance we're going to fall down again. But if we don't, where could we go? Well, if we retest the bull market support band and we have another surge, we could go back to the area that I was talking about yesterday. So yesterday I mentioned there was two prices. There was 30,000, which we hit, the 30,100 range. And then the next level after that was 31,000, about 31,600. So my bullish prediction for Bitcoin is 31,600 if we use the bull market support band as support. If we don't, and today and tomorrow brings out more bearish news, the chances are we are going to come back down to this level, which is 26.8, and then if we fall back down again, we're going to come down to this level, which is 25.6. So there's the two options that we have. We have a big run up, break 30,000 and get towards 31.8, or we come back down to the area that we were at in September and June and a little bit of February. So that's where we're going, and I'm not going to make any predictions for Bitcoin simply because what happened yesterday was a fluke. So without that, where would we be today? We'd probably be somewhere in the region of 27.2. We'd probably be somewhere about this area of liquidity. So we are higher than I expected. We are there because of what happened with the Bitcoin ETF. The question now is, how is that going to change the psychology of bulls and bears? Because I've never seen the market pump based on fake news before. That's what's confusing. Where are we going to go from here? If we look at, I mean, you kind of have this, I suppose, going on, which of course is bearish on the 15-minute. So could we come down a little bit further? Could we come back down and retest the bull market support band? On the shorter time frame, I would say yes. On the longer time frame, I'm not 100% certain of where we're going to go, because like I say, this fake pump has taken us above the bull market support band, and we've tested it as support in the last probably 6 to 12 hours, no, maybe 6 to 9 hours. So I would hope for confirmation that we stay above the bull market support band, and if we do, and this bearish divergence doesn't play out, then we could be looking a lot higher than we are now. Now I'm going to have a very quick look at Loom. So, as we said, I was expecting the price to come back down to this area here, which is at 20 cents. I also said that these highs were unsustainable. We've seen a retracement now of about 25%. And this kind of downward action, is that going to play out? Or have we found a level of resistance at 26 cents, which was the kind of area that we were at? Now, the reason I want to show you this is that when a price goes up, it doesn't go up forever. It will have to come down at some point. Never feel like you've missed the boat. Obviously, over a very long period of time, the chances are you are going to miss the boat. But over the short term, never worry about missing a pump, because it will always retrace. So when we were here, I was saying that I think we could come down to this level here. We didn't. We had another pump up. We hit another price up there, which is just under a psychological barrier of 50 cents. And look where we've come down. We've come down about 40 odd percent. We've come all the way down here, and we're currently sitting at this area of support, which is at 27.5 cents roughly. I still think there's more chance of us coming down. If we move out a little bit, I still think we could be looking at this area here, come down to. So don't worry if you see if you miss a pump. I'll give you another example of where price action has started to move up. Now, I'm not sure which chart I have been using. There we go. Okay. So this was the chart that I called, and I said that we are going to move down from this area. By the way, I didn't draw this chart today. This has been my chart for the last few days, but look what I said. I said we were going to come down and test the moving average. We're going to come down to this level here, and now look what's happening. We've started to recover, and there's now more upward action. It's a new coin, Blazel. So where could we be looking at next? We could be looking back up towards 15 cents. We could be looking back towards 18 cents. So the charts are not always 100% accurate, but they can give you a very good indicator of what's going to go. And I have said that when you have this rally all the way up here, you come so far away from the moving average that it has to some point retrace back to it. And we've had this lovely pattern, beautiful pattern, that's taken us down towards this moving average, and now we've retested it. That's a very bullish signal. We could move higher. I would expect Loom to do the same thing. I would expect Loom to come down, find its level of resistance, level of support, and then move up. So just bear those things in mind when you are looking at prices. Don't YOLO into something that's gone up 500% in the last couple of weeks. That's not going to help you. You're just going to end up buying up here, and then you've got a long way down and you have to wait for that to recover. You shouldn't be buying at the top of anything. Once something's moved so far away from the moving average, once something has become completely overbought, they should be signals to short that coin or sell. If you've bought the coin, sell. If you haven't bought the coin, short. Remember, one other thing I need to say, very important, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. These are my opinions. And also, I am not paid for these opinions. That is something else to bear in mind. Now let's move on. Let me update where we are up to, as we have gone all the way down to ETH and the menu is still showing as, there we go. Okay, while I'm doing this, don't forget, like, subscribe, press the love heart button, whatever you've got in front of you, press everything but leave. And most importantly, if you have any questions, anything you want to talk to us about, just drop a comment into chat. Let me know where you're watching from. I know Tariq is in chat this morning. Good morning, Tariq. It's very quiet, as I said at the start of the show. It's very quiet across the board, which I take as a bullish sign, believe it or not. So Ethereum shows signs of short-term gains, but it could be a risky punt for the bulls. Why am I looking at Ethereum? Again, very similar to Loom. We looked at a setup on Ethereum where I said we could see a short-term move up. So I'm going to bring the chart up in a minute. I haven't touched the chart since I drew it, either yesterday or the day before. So we're going to look at that. I'm going to explain why it happened and what you should do now. So can Ethereum bulls initiate a rally to the mid-range resistance after the failed rally on Monday? Or is it bullish sentiment? Or is bullish sentiment too weak to justify such expectations? Ethereum saw a hike in its supply that took it to the highest it's been in the past 10 months. The implications of an increased net issuance was a price decline. Additionally, the falling gas fee and declining on-chain activity meant ETH would likely face heightened sell pressure. On the 13th of October, AMB Crypto reported that Ethereum had a pocket of liquidity in the 1595 to 1616 range. This area was breached briefly on Monday following Bitcoin's volatility. What can traders plan for the next? Or next, with a higher time frame resistance overhead? So, overall, I think what we are looking at, we could be looking at the start of a bull market. When I say the start of a bull market, I mean the start of a visible bull market. We've had a huge rally since the start of the year. Bitcoin is up, what's it now, up 60-70%, which is good compared to traditional stocks and bonds and shares, but it's not big in terms of Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that. So it hasn't gone unnoticed, but it hasn't found mainstream media attention yet. We are still focused on the negative news of exchanges being sued, so we need to move past that. So I'm not going to go into too much of that, just to say that Ethereum was showing us what it was planning to do, and we traced it out I think actually I'll be able to tell us from when I look at the chart when this was. Was it on the hour? On the daily chart? There we go. Okay, so on the daily chart, which I drew Friday. So Friday or Saturday, I made this chart. And I was showing you that there was a bullish divergence on Ethereum. Now, I'm not going to go into a trading 101 session, but bullish divergence happens when the price falls and you could call it the buying pressure increases. And those two things they're not happy roommates. They don't live well together. So when price starts to fall and the RSI starts to go up, that's an indication that there's going to be a price rise. And I said at the time that Ethereum is more than likely going to move up in the short term. And we moved up from about 1530 to 1590, which is a nice, what's that, 4%, 5% pump. That was a nice return. So this is a nice way of showing you how bullish divergence works. It's also a good indicator of where we're going to go next. Now, because of the fake pump that we've had, on Bitcoin, and me not knowing too much about how that's going to affect the market, could we now see this play out in a slightly different way? Well, there's potentially, again, some bearish divergence on the chart. And that's where, of course, we've gone from our low on Monday afternoon, and we are now Tuesday morning. We have slight bearish divergence. So in the short term, we could possibly just have a little tiny return down towards maybe 1580, something like that. So a very, very short drop there, because I'm not sure whether we're going to come all the way straight back down again. That's another option. Now, I don't know if you recognize that pattern on the screen. That's a very famous cartoon pattern. So potentially we've got that to come for Ethereum. So what I would say is, when you see bullish or bearish divergence, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. There is a very good likelihood that it's going to happen. And that's what you need to look at. When you do your own research and when you look at these charts yourself, you can decide if you want to play out the divergence. Is it strong bullish or bearish divergence? Is it on a major asset like Ethereum or Bitcoin or XRP or Solana? Or is it on an altcoin that only has a $15 million market cap? So there's lots of other things to take into account. Also, macro environmental things. Is there any updates on conflicts? Is there any inflation data about to come out? So you should try and find a sweet spot where you can trade off the chart without having to worry too much about the impact of the macro environment. For example, if Wednesday this week the Fed were going to come out and announce a rate hike or a rate reduction or a rate freeze, probably today wouldn't be a good time to trade, because you don't know the volatility that's going to happen tomorrow. So when you have a quiet week in terms of inflation and interest rates, whatever, that's when you should be looking to trade. In my humble opinion, you should trade outside of any major noisy effects that can have on the market. So just bear that in mind. I know we called Ethereum on Friday, and I know it's played out, but it doesn't play out every time. But it's nice that when it does, I can demonstrate how it has played out. Now we are 18 minutes to get through the rest of the articles. So I'm going to go through another interesting stat that you can get your hands on. And that is, you can see how much new money is coming towards crypto. Thank you. I did say ETH would go to 1200, and that was my prediction. I also think that Bitcoin would retest maybe 23,000 or 20,000. 20,000 and 23,000 was my prediction for Bitcoin, and that would drag ETH with it. So if Bitcoin went down to those levels, that's where I would expect Ethereum to go, even as low as $1,000. That still isn't off the table. Remember, it only takes 2 bad weeks in crypto for us to get back down to those levels. I won't bring the charts back up, but crypto can turn on a sixpence. And a week on Friday, we could be at $32,000. A week on Friday, we could be at $23,000. There is liquidity all the way down at $20,000 and $23,000 for Bitcoin. There's also liquidity down at $1,000 and $1,200 for Ethereum. If there is any massive news and we see a huge correction in the market, for example, Gary Gensler comes out and says, we will not be approving any ETFs until March next year. And then Chairman Powell comes out and says, we're going to put interest rates up again in November. Those two things alone could cause the market to tank. If there is a massive escalation in what is happening in the Middle East, that will also cause a massive correction. So although it looks good now, and we're at $1,600, we're at $28,500 for Bitcoin, it's all looking rosy. In 2 weeks' time, we could be having a conversation about whether Ethereum is going to hold $1,000. So you're right, I did say that, and I stand by that, because that is a scenario that can play out. I also expected it to play out in September, and we are now in the middle of October, and we still haven't seen that play out. But if you look at the charts of what happens in the 4-year cycles, and you look at what happens in the year before the halving, Bitcoin has a decent start and a decent middle to the year, and then it corrects towards the end of the year, and then it recovers at the end of the year. Well, we haven't seen that correction down yet, really. We did touch 25,000 a while back, but I'm expecting more fireworks between now and December. Listen, nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier than a $40,000 Bitcoin and a $2,000 Ethereum by December. I would be dancing in the streets, but I'm not going to go down the same moon boy predictions that everybody else has. There is a scenario where we finish the year at $25,000 and $13,000 for Ethereum, because there's just too many things happening in the world, and that's my problem, where I can't be too bullish. Right, let us move on. I hope that answers the question, Tariq. Bilawal Sumro, I'm new here. Please tell me about Loomcoin. I've literally just looked at Loomcoin. The question about Loomcoin is, I think we need to find a level of resistance, and it has bounced off the moving average. So you have two options. You either wait for confirmation and it will come down further and then you long, or you start to dollar cost average in. If you like Loomcoin and you've done research on that project and you think it's a good project, I am not going to tell you to buy or sell. I'm going to suggest that you dollar cost average into anything. It looks volatile. It's already had a massive run up. What happens if you buy now and it goes back to 6 cents? You'll have lost 75% of your money. So dollar cost average in. So buy at 12 cents, 20 cents, 6 cents, 8 cents, whatever the prices may be. If you believe long term that project is going to grow. If you want to buy Loomcoin, because you've seen it's gone up 500%. That's the wrong time. You're buying at the wrong time, and you're they call it degenning in. You're FOMOing in, fear of missing out. Don't do that. Buy coins which haven't had those pumps. That's the way to make money in this market, and we try and find some. We try and find coins that aren't necessarily in the news. If you look at our link predictions, link is stuck in a range, it goes up and down. You could buy and sell based on that chart. If you look at what we said on Blazel, we said short it down to 12 cents. It came down to 11.5 cents, and now it's starting to move back up. These are only our observations. We are not going to get them all right. We got Gala wrong because of a macro event that happened, which was the CEO sued the founder. So we don't have a crystal ball the same way that other influencers doesn't have crystal balls, but we like to think that we are right sometimes. So inflow into crypto funds continues for third consecutive week. So for that week, $15.2 million came in, and $78.5 million came in the week before. That's $93 million in 2 weeks into the market. That might not sound an awful lot, but you've got to remember that new money coming in is what's going to pump the market, not existing money. We are never going to get to a $100,000 Bitcoin or a $200,000 Bitcoin without new money, because there's just not enough money in stable coins to pump the price. There's not enough people, there's not enough liquidity. We need new money. So when we see this, it doesn't matter if it's less than the year before. It doesn't matter. This is additional money coming into the market. And $94 million in 2 weeks at this stage of the market is not to be sniffed at. So there is a lovely chart here which shows the week of what's come in and what's gone out, and we've had massive inflows, we've had outflows, and now we're back into positive territory. If you go off the previous months, you'll see we have 4 good months there, 4 months there, weeks there, and then we're going to have another good week this week, and then probably we'll have a correction. So what this does is it analyzes the inflows and outflows by chain. Now, has it got the chart on here to show? It doesn't. Okay, there is another chart available on the internet where you can see inflows and outflows by chain on a weekly basis and a monthly basis, and that will show you how well new investment is doing on those chains. And what you'll tend to find, or what I've tend to find, there's 3 real winners and losers every week. There's Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Solana is always up there in the top 3 or 4 inflows or outflows. So that's useful to know, because that is potentially institutional money. So where is the institutional money? It's in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. And that's just based on actual verifiable data. That's not based on hearsay or my theory or anything like that. Solana-based products raised $3.7 million after the highest since March 2022 of 24. In previous reporting period, inflows to XRP continued for the 25th week in a row. So, as I say, Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, I would suggest you go and find these charts on CoinShares and just have them as a bookmark. Go and check them out every month or so. It's useful information to have, especially if you're new to crypto and you don't know what the history is of the big coins. What are institutional investors buying into? Look at the cycles. Do they buy for a 4-week cycle and sell for an 8-week cycle? You know, use that to help you understand where the prices are going to go. Now, this was a very good interview that I watched with Cathie Wood, and it was to do with the SEC. It was to do with Bitcoin ETFs. and she was very candid in the interview. She tried to be as neutral as possible, but she wasn't. She kind of gave the impression of what the SEC is like. But we'll go through the article first. Let's make that a bit bigger so you can see it. There we go. So Cathie Wood says hopes are rising for spot Bitcoin ETF. Larry Fink addresses the role of crypto in restless markets. Now, I'm not going to read about the Larry Fink thing. We've already done that. Cathie Wood, the CEO and CIO of ARK Invest, commented on pending spot Bitcoin ETF applications during a CNBC interview on October 16th. This is the one I watched. As ARK Invest is one of several asset managers pursuing a spot Bitcoin ETF, Wood began by describing the current state of her company's application, stating, "It was publicised and disclosed last week that we had responded to the SEC's request for information around our Bitcoin filing, and we responded. That's basically all we can say." The US SEC published initial requests for comments on select spot Bitcoin ETF applications in late September, though ARK Invest was not one of the firms initially received a request from the agency. It nevertheless responded by updating its application on October the 11th. During the current interview, Wood suggested that the SEC questions indicate that the agency's stance towards spot Bitcoin ETFs is changing. She added that the SEC's decision to seek information could signify that hopes are rising for spot Bitcoin ETFs. Now, I'll go through what she said then after this. So the SEC must reach a decision on ARK's proposal by January the 10th, 2024. Though ARK's application is first in line, Wood noted that multiple ETFs could be approved at once, echoing one of her earlier statements from August. But the one thing that this article misses out is what she was saying about the SEC. She she's sat down with them, she's talked to them about it. They understand the benefits of Bitcoin. That was my big takeaway. It is massively bullish. She then goes on to say that although the SEC are massively in favour of a Bitcoin ETF, she believes that Gary Gensler, she called him, she didn't call him Chairman Gensler maybe, is the reason that they haven't been approved. So she laid the blame firmly at the door of Gary Gensler, which adds fuel to the fire. Why would Gary Gensler hold back on Bitcoin approval? Yesterday, I suggested it could be to do with the fact that he's stacking Bitcoin and he's trying to do it for April next year, which is when the halving is. Is it that? Is it that he is in the pockets of BlackRock and Vanguard and Fidelity and Goldman Sachs? Possibly. Is he doing it to damage crypto and blockchain? I don't think so. He taught blockchain at universities in America, so he knows the benefits of blockchain technology. The one thing I don't think he's doing is trying to kill Bitcoin. So it leaves me to believe that it's a political decision to not approve the ETFs and delaying them as soon as long as he can. Just keep them going, keep them going. The one thing I would say is that on January the 10th, I expect the decision to be delayed. And that would take it to April, let's say April the 11th. Now, I brought this up yesterday. I don't know how many people are here from yesterday. That's the wrong link. Right. This is it. So, this... Now, just look at the dates. The SEC must reach a decision by January the 10th, 2024. They can delay for 3 months. March, April, May. Right, February, March, April. April the 10th is the day of the halving. January the 10th is the date of the deadline, which can be pushed back again for 3 months. Is it a coincidence that that is 3 months, the halving is 3 months after that proposal, that could get pushed back to April the 10th? So could ETFs be approved on the actual day of the halving? Think about that, because that's something that I personally don't think is a coincidence. Now, we have run so far out of time that I'm going to have to skip one of these two articles or just breeze through them as best I can. Let's have a quick look at where we are. So Uniswap is to charge a 0.15% fee on certain tokens. So Uniswap has been in the headlines. Yesterday it was in the headlines because of it was in the headlines because it's built in KYC, and now it's in the headlines because it's going to charge a 0.15% fee. Just a few shout outs, I've missed them completely. Saturn Zero, thank you. Saquib, thank you. Safia, thank you. How to plan today? That's a really good question. I would say there's two things that can happen, and they're all going to happen in about 4 hours' time. So what I would do is consider, are we going to hold the bull market support band? If we are, we're going to hit $30,000 again. I think we could come back down into the bull market support band where we were, which would mean that we could lose maybe 3% on the price of Bitcoin. But it's very hard to say. It's very, very hard to say. All I would say is that sometimes the best trade is no trade, and that might sound ridiculous, but what it means is that we've had a fake pump. The price is several $100s higher than where we were this time yesterday because of a fake pump. Now, I'm not experienced in what happens when there's a fake pump. I don't know what happens. My gut feeling is that we retrace back to the price we were at. If you look at what happened to XRP, XRP won the case. What happened? The price skyrocketed. Then over a period of weeks, the price came back to exactly the same price it was at before. The ETF application approval, the fake ETF application approval, has sent the price up, and we've retraced nearly all the way. But we're above the bull market support band. We need some kind of confirmation today of where we're going to go. So if we hold this level for a day or two, and we start to see green dots, we start to see bullish divergence, I would long Bitcoin. If we don't, and we start to lose support and we fall back within the range, then we short. But for me, I'm not trading today. I'm not trading Bitcoin today. There are other tokens that I've looked at. I've looked at Loom. I've looked at Blazel. Blazel, I think, is going to go on another rally. Loom, I think there's possibly a little bit more downside. But for me, it's difficult today to give you any indication of where we're going to go. A big thank you to Arbap Trader for the tip. I have managed to actually call somebody's name out on the stream that has tipped. It is greatly appreciated. Remember, we do accept tips. We convert all tips into crypto and give it back out. That's something else to be aware of. Right, so I'm not going to do much more on these articles. We're going to get on with the quiz because we're going to run out of time. And if we run out of time, it'll drag over. All we'll say on Uniswap is the KYC was yesterday. That was bad news. This, for me, is not bad news. This allows tokens to charge a transaction fee for sustainable fund operations. Now, let me ask a question. Do we all honestly expect these tokens, these teams behind these tokens, do we expect them to program for free? No. Does somebody expect you to go to work for free? No. So there has to be some kind of royalties charged on some projects. Maybe not Bitcoin and Ethereum, because that works in different ways and they get paid out from the emissions, or they get paid for the transaction fees or whatever, on-chain transaction fees. But Uniswap doing this is a positive move for the market. It's a positive move for the industry, and it allows some tokens to survive. So I work in crypto because of the immense positive impact I believe it can have on the world, removing gatekeepers and increasing access to value and ownership. I'm proud of the ways Uniswap Labs have contributed to that effort and want to make sure we're creating a sustainable. I'm not going to click on it because it will take me to Twitter. This is a separate fee from the Uniswap protocol, which is fine. So what will the fee be charged on? ETH, USDC, DAO. So stable coins, mainly stable coins. Over the last 24 hours, Uniswap on Ethereum saw $810 million worth of trading volume, excluding major stablecoin pairs, which would put the daily fee revenue at $380,000. That's going to keep any chain running. And let's not forget, these people built these chains and released them to the world, but they need to be maintained. If you've got 100 developers all earning $5,000 a month, you have a lot of outlay. Just bear that in mind. This isn't a cash grab or greed. This is trying to keep chains sustainable, and that's what we should be looking at. So I applaud them for this. I don't applaud them for introducing KYC. I know why they've done it, because certain tokens want to be registered with the SEC and they want the SEC to know who is trading their tokens. I understand all of that, but that's a slippery slope. This is a positive. So we're not going to look at the other article, which is to do with taxing. What we are going to do is we are going to bring up the charts. Let's bring up Bitcoin, actually. Remember, if there's a coin you want me to look at, I can look at the coin when I do the quiz. I don't mind. Let's look at the BTC chart. See where we are. So as you can see, we are above. I've got very pretty lines everywhere. We are above this bull market support band, but we have bearish divergence. Bearish divergence, the price is rising and the RSI is falling. Although it's only the 15-minute, let's move out a little bit. We can get rid of that. I think maybe, don't know actually. I don't know, we'll get rid of them. I'm not sure about that. What we need to do, in my opinion, Safia asked the question, is, let me bring this in a little bit further. Okay, so we were trapped in the bull market support band and we fell below it, and I said we were probably going to get rejected here and come down a little bit further. We had the fake news, which was this ridiculous God candle up here, but look what happened. We've come up. We've bounced off the bull market support band. Are we going to go that way? Because if we are, and you look back along the prices, what have we got to look forward to? Well, we've got to go all the way back to this range here, which would be 29.4 or maybe 29.2, around that area. So could we see that today? Possibly. Could this trigger, as I said before, could this trigger the start of the visible bull market? I don't know, and that's why I'm saying I need to see some confirmation, because what could play out is we could come down, we could break back down towards this area here, which is 26.6, or this area here, which is at 27.4, sorry. So we could do this. I don't know, and that's my honest opinion, and I try my hardest to be honest, and sometimes I just don't know, and that is my honest opinion of where we are. I've said it before. Safia, sorry. I think the problem is, I think the problem is, it's because of the fake bounce caused this move up. This fake bounce caused the move up, and I mean, let me give you another scenario. Let's say, let's say we do this. Okay, that's a possibility. We're retesting, which is what we want. We want to retest. If we retest and there's massive support, we're good to go. But look at this liquidity area here, which is at 28,000. Now, if we came down to this area and it found massive support, then I do expect us to go back up. But it's not a huge pocket of liquidity, which makes me think we could come back down to this area, 27.4, 27, 26.6. So those three areas there for me are where we have been. But the problem, I sound like a stuck record. The problem is simply we shouldn't be where we are today. That's the problem. We shouldn't be here. All of this here, all of this is fake. So as you see by the title of my stream today, this is fake news, as Donald Trump says. It's all fake. So I don't know where we go from here. That's my underlying problem. Now, I would personally wait, because I wouldn't long from here. If you long from here, you could... The thing is, if you wanted to go and look in depth, you could go and look at the shorts and the long liquidations, see what that's saying. Is there a pocket of shorts to be liquidated up here? Is there a pocket of long liquidations down here? Because the whales will drag the price to where the liquidations happen. That's something else to bear in mind, but I don't want to go into that. All I'm saying is this entire thing up here it's like a dream. It's fake. So we should probably be doing this right now at this level. Bouncing off 27.4, coming back up to 28, 27.4, 28. That's where we should be, and we're just not there. We're not there because of the fake. It's not really a fake out. The fake news breakout has caused this. So I don't know. Honestly, hands in the air, don't know. I do know there's bearish divergence on Ethereum. We've had the bullish divergence play out as I went through on the stream. But for me, fake news, I don't know where we're going to go. So let's leave that like that on the screen, and then we'll come back to it. And again, I'll probably be wrong. Right, let's crack on with the quiz. Let's see where we are. Andy, welcome. Welcome back to the stream, Andy. I haven't seen you for a while. Crypto Mafia, good morning. Or good, yeah, it's still good morning, just about. Right, let's get cracking with the quiz. Remember, the quiz is a bit of fun. We've had our charts. We've had our excitement for the day. We had our excitement yesterday. And just for the record, I was actually fast asleep and missed the entire thing. I had my afternoon nap. It started about, I don't know, maybe 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then I woke up at 4:30 to all of these alerts saying that we'd hit 30,000, and I'd missed the entire thing in my sleep. Never mind, eh? Okay. Let's get on with the quiz. Remember, the quiz is normally based on, based on the news today. I'm going to ask some questions. So, all you have to do is put the answer into chat. I'll give you a shout out. So, the first question. Was the BTC ETF approval fake or true? All you have to do is put fake or true into chat and you will be a winner. I will give you a shout out. Or I'll give you a shout out when I manage to actually answer the question. There we go. So, the question is, was the BTC ETF approval fake or true? All you have to do is say fake or true in chat and I will give you a shout out. And I tell you what, I have genuinely never seen it so quiet as it has been the last, I would say Monday and Tuesday. It's been so quiet. And there's so many people getting this question wrong. So was the BTC ETF approval, was it a fake or true? It was fake. We had the wick up to $30,000. Cointelegraph came out and admitted that it had been fake news. So if you put fake in chat, you have won. So Crypto Anonymous, Kabir, 10x Karma, Sarah, welcome back. I haven't seen you in ages. Chevon, same, not seen you in ages. Tariq, Andy, Maitabor. I tell you something, it's nice to see the regulars in chat because there's nobody else here. I don't know what's happened with the UK, but I think it's had a massive impact on people watching crypto streams. Where have the anchors gotten rich recently? I feel like I'm watching your live broadcast. You are watching my live broadcast. Where have the anchors got rich recently? I don't know what you mean by that. If you're talking about what coins have pumped, if you're asking me what coins have pumped recently, then things like Loom and Blazel have pumped a lot recently. You would have made a lot of gains on Link had you followed the pattern to $8.10 and come down again. You'd have done quite well. I guess the season is just quiet. I think it is. And Chevron, they are. I know the regulations don't work. The problem with regulations is we need them. It's one of those double-edged swords. We need regulation. We need regulation for crypto. We need regulation for exchanges. We need regulation for certain tokens, because no matter what people tell you on the internet, that regulations are bad and Gary Gensler is bad, if you do, or if you allow cryptocurrencies and tokens carte blanche to be classified as commodities, it will be abused and people will use them to sell shares in their company or whatever it might be. So there needs to be a Howey test for crypto. Now, with exchanges, what annoys me is that there should be a grace period in the UK where the big exchanges go to the FCA and say, you know what, we're going to bring out these regulations in the next 12 months. You, as a crypto exchange, have 12 months to go through the process. We will make it as painless as possible, and at the end of the 12-month process, we will give you a yes or no answer and be upfront and transparent about it. That's what needed to have happened, and it hasn't done. And it's okay for the government to turn around, and UK government to turn around and say, right, you're not allowed to trade in the UK if you haven't got an FCA compliant partner. Nobody's going to take on crypto companies at this moment in time because of the press they get. So the government isn't helping. Right, next question. I went off on a little bit of a tangent then. So I'll keep the questions easy today because there aren't enough people here to warrant asking difficult questions. So, Safia, feel free to join in. And this is a simple question. And I ask this every day. And remember, if you do come every day and you see the same questions every day, there's probably 20% of the viewers are regulars. The rest are new people, so they're not going to know the answers. So these questions are more about trying to educate people than trick people, if you know what I mean. So the question is Ethereum proof of stake or proof of work? Just type POS or POW into chat. So is Ethereum proof of stake or proof of work? And what I mean by that is, are there miners around the world hang on. So is Ethereum a mined coin, or is it a coin that uses validators to validate the transactions? Just type POW or POS into chat and you will win. Update the menu to where we are. We're so far behind today, I've no idea why. Is Ethereum proof of stake or proof of work? The answer, Ethereum is proof of stake. And who got that right? Let's have a look. Ayush Raj, I apologise if I've just destroyed your name. Kabir, well done. Vinny, Pipile, Sarah again, Andy, Titans, Crypto Anonymous, Alex, and Jotina, well done to all of you. Very, very few people here today. So there's only 17 correct answers. I remember the days we were getting 135 correct answers per question. Those days appear to have long gone. But it doesn't matter because I am not here for those numbers. I am here to try and, I suppose, just go through the news and go through the charts as best I can. It doesn't matter. It could be me and Tariq in chat and I would still stream. Although Tariq might ask me way too many difficult questions. Next question for you guys is going to be, so this might be a slightly difficult question if you're not listening. Kathy Wood runs what company? Does she run ARK or Ant Invest? Is the name of her investment company ARK or Ant? Just put the word ARK or Ant into chat. I'll give you a shout out. And of course, sorry, I forgot, it wouldn't just be Tariq. Safia would be here, and I'm sure Jane would be here as well. It's not just Tariq. There might be 3 of us, or maybe even Chevon would be here and Andy. There'd be a few of us. Maybe, let's say there's 10 of us. If there was 10 of us on the stream, it wouldn't matter to me. Whether it's 10 people, 1,000 people, or 100 people. This is more like it. People are getting the questions right now. It doesn't matter, Safia. All you have to do is... So, Kathy Wood, she runs an investment company. Very, very bright person. Is the name of that company ARK Invest or Ant Invest? You just have to type ARK or Ant into chat. That's all you have to do. And then you'd win. You'd win a shout out by me. So slightly more people have got that question right than normal. 26 correct answers. For that one, C-Roll, Dan, Samantha, Sarah again, Kishan, Andy, Jonas, Ben, and a name which is RGS DSD, obviously made up. 26 correct answers. So the answer, by the way, is ARK Invest. Kathy Wood runs ARK Invest. ARK Invest is a massively pro tech investment company. They invest in everything from Tesla. I believe they've invested in Amazon. They've invested in Bitcoin. They've invested in MicroStrategy. They invest in everything which they think will be the future of the world, which is technology. I'm sure AI in there as well. Next question. So we've gone through a few of these. Okay. Next question. And again, if you've been watching the stream, you're going to know the answers. You're wondering what the pregnant pause is. I have to type the answers in. Sorry, the questions is in. Okay, so to get this one right might be a bit tricky, but hey ho. Uniswap token tax that we talked about before, is that 0.15 or 0.5%? All you have to do is type 0.15 or 0.5 into chat and you will have won. I didn't realise it was so late either. It's 10 past 12. It's boring to have a few wins in stock. You know what? The last few weeks, I think we've been more accurate than the previous few weeks. So we were quite accurate about most of the tokens we talked about, which is a good thing because we're not swing traders, we're not scalpers, we don't trade every day. What we try and do is look at medium-term movement of coins. So where is the coin going to move in the next week or two? That's what we try and look at. Loads of people getting this one right as well. It's good to know people listen to the stream. That's all I'll say. It's good to see. So the answer is 0.15%. So Uniswap is introducing a fee for certain tokens, and that fee is a developer token price. A developer token tax, where the tax goes to the development team of that token to help maintain it and upgrade it, and that is 0.15% of the transaction. 22 people got that right. C-Roll, Sarah again, Kishan, Munaya, welcome back Munaya, you won big. Coins, Morocco, Bali, Samantha, Andy, Tariq, Chevon. You know what, Tariq, right? Whenever Tariq wins, he never wins anywhere near the amount that everybody else wins. I'm telling you now, it's rigged. This system is rigged. Bradley's, Russivan, Chevon, congratulations to you all. Tariq, stop giving everybody the answer. I learned so much from you, Mike, and I love logging. Sarah, well, you know what, Sarah? I'll tell you something. I started streaming in June last... No. Was it? Yeah, June last year. I started in June last year, and... Oh, Safia. Right, okay, Safia. So, just to let you know, we stream in multiple places. So we stream on a few different platforms, and I can't say the names of those platforms because it's against the terms and conditions. But just to let you know, I keep an eye on 2 or 3 different chats. So I can see you chatting there. I can see these other people chatting here. I can see another group of people chatting on the television. So I literally have 4 screens to watch chats. So, so I hope that helps explain it without saying too much. So yeah. So anyway, as I said, I just try and yeah, Tariq, Andy. I don't know what honestly. So if somebody wins 40 or 50 SHIB, Tariq will win 7. If people win 20, Tariq will win 1, and it's never the other way around ever. Let me show you an example. I'm going to ask you an easy question. So Safia, you have to be able to answer this question. You've got to put the answer into chat and I'll give you a shout out. Okay. Right. Okay. Are we ready? So what is the surname of the owner of Tesla? I ask this question every day without fail. What is the surname of the owner of Tesla? BTC Saquib, I've no idea how to do the packets, I'm afraid. So I will go and look it up, but I don't know how to do it, to be perfectly honest with you. So loads of people are getting this question right. "19 correct answers with 30 seconds to go. 20. Remember, if you've answered and while you're waiting, there's a few things you can do. You can like the stream, smash the like button on the stream. How many likes have we had today? We've only got 2,800 likes. We should be at 12,000 by now. So get smashing the like button for us. That would be great. Secondly, make sure you follow us. We stream every day, roughly every day at 11 o'clock. We go through the charts. We have what I call a hybrid show. So we look at news and then we look at the charts associated with that coin. So we've done Bitcoin and Ethereum today because of what's happened. We look at the news surrounding it and we look at the charts. We don't take things in isolation. And then we have a quiz at the end where we just ask some random crypto questions just to kind of settle people in. I think we've asked about 6 questions so far. Now, because it's 12:15, I've been streaming since 11. I'm going to drop a box now and then put the stream on a countdown. So thank you to Safia, Tariq, Chevon, Sarah, Munaya, who else? Kishan, Andy, Samantha, Bradley's. Thank you everybody for coming. I'm going to drop a box. Remember, we are back tomorrow at about the same time. So about 11 o'clock tomorrow, we will be back. And one thing I would love you to do is we are on other... What's the word for it? We make videos about cryptocurrencies on a very popular video channel. So if you go over there, type in Crypto Warehouse, you will find us. And it would be great if you could give us a follow. We've also dropped some videos on some really amazing coins. So make sure to go and check them out. I didn't get it, thank you. He would have a leaving, I'm back. Oh, right, okay, Safia. So basically, we stream in different places. And I watch the chats from those places on 4 different screens. So that's how we have people. So there's people in your chat that you can see, but then there's another chat altogether of people I can see. So I stream to different places and different people. Andy, it was nice seeing you again today. All right, okay, so Ayush Raj. It is 12 o'clock in the afternoon where I am today. So an hour from today, I use Central European time because I'm in Europe. So I use Central European time to base my times. But I will drop I will add the next event to the calendar for tomorrow, so you will all see it. But anyway, thank you everybody so much for coming. I appreciate every one of you for being here. I will see you all in the morning. Have a great Tuesday. Let's hope for the best and expect the worst. So with all that being said, have a great day.